All right, let's get right into it. We're talking about something that's absolutely critical for anyone with a digital presence: how to defend your APIs from those dreaded DDoS attacks, distributed denial of service. This is a big one, so let's jump in.
It might sound like a huge claim, but it's really not an exaggeration. APIs, they are the absolute backbone of the modern web. I mean, think about it. They're the invisible engines running pretty much everything. The apps on your phone, your banking systems, even your smart home devices. They're the gatekeepers to all the important data and services out there.
And get this, their growth is just explosive. We're on track to see something like 1.7 million public APIs by 2025. Now, that's awesome for innovation, right? But it also means the potential attack surface for bad actors is getting bigger and bigger and bigger. Every single one of those new APIs is basically a new door for them to try and kick down.
So that really brings us to the big question, doesn't it? What actually happens when that backbone, the very thing holding our digital world together, becomes the primary target? Well, the consequences can be absolutely massive. Let's dig into what that looks like, and more importantly, what you can do about it.
Okay, so here's a quick look at what we're going to cover. First up, we'll survey the API battlefield. Then, we'll talk about the high cost of downtime. After that, we'll open up the Defender's Playbook. We'll also look at some common gaps in your armor, and we'll finish up by talking about why security is really a process, not a one-time fix.
All right, Section 1, the API battlefield. Before you can build a defense, you've got to know your enemy. So let's really understand the threat of these DDoS attacks.
So what exactly is a DDoS attack? Well, the best way to think about it is like a malicious traffic jam, on purpose. Attackers use these huge networks of infected computers, we call them botnets, to just bombard your API with a ridiculous flood of requests. And the goal? It's super simple. Overwhelm your system so that it just stops. It can't serve your real, legitimate users anymore, and boom, you've got a total outage.
But here's the thing. Not all DDoS attacks are the same. They've gotten a lot more sophisticated over time. You've got your volumetric attacks. That's the classic sledgehammer approach, just throwing a massive amount of traffic at you to clog up the pipes. Then you have protocol-based attacks, which are a bit more clever, exploiting the way servers talk to each other. But the really tricky ones, those are the application layer attacks. These are sneaky. They're designed to look just like a real person using your service, maybe making a bunch of complex search requests. They quietly drain your server's resources, and they're so much harder to spot because, well, they look totally legit.
And that brings us right to our next section, the high cost of downtime. Because look, knowing the technical details of an attack is one thing, but seeing what it can do to your bottom line, that's what really makes you sit up and pay attention.
Let's just start with the big, scary number right up front. How about $40,000? That's the average cost of a DDoS attack per hour. And since these attacks can go on for hours and hours, you can do the math. The cost just skyrockets fast.
But honestly, that 40 grand an hour figure is just the tip of the iceberg. The real damage goes so much deeper. We're talking about direct revenue loss, sure, but also the risk of customer data getting stolen. And maybe worst of all, that slow, painful erosion of your customer's trust. Once that's gone, it's incredibly hard to get back.
And the hidden costs? They just keep piling on. First, you've got productivity losses. Some estimates put that around $5,600 per minute of downtime. Then there's your poor IT team. It can take a whole crew, like 15 people, to fight off one of these attacks, pulling them away from everything else they're supposed to be doing. And that's before we even get to the long-term stuff, like losing customers for good, getting hit with financial penalties for breaking your service agreements, and of course, that uphill battle of trying to rebuild a trashed reputation.
Okay, enough of the doom and gloom. Let's talk solutions. This is Section 3, the Defender's Playbook. We're going to walk through 5 key strategies you can use to build a really strong layered defense to protect your APIs.
All right, first up, and this is really the foundation of your defense, rate limiting and throttling. Think of it like a speed limit for your API. You're just setting a rule that says, hey, you can only make this many requests in a certain amount of time. It's a simple but super effective way to stop any one person or bot from hogging all the bandwidth.
But just turning on rate limiting isn't enough. You have to be smart about it. For example, you should have much stricter limits on your most sensitive endpoints, like where people log in or make payments. It's also a great idea to count fail login attempts. That's a classic sign of a credential stuffing attack. And another pro tip, limit how many times a single session can be used. That stops an attacker from causing chaos with just one stolen credential.
Okay, tip number 2, web application firewalls, or WAFs for short.
Now, if rate limiting is like a speed bump, a WAF is more like an intelligent security checkpoint at the border. It doesn't just look at how many requests are coming in, it actually inspects the content of those requests to see if they're malicious. This is absolutely crucial for catching those sneaky application layer attacks that are trying to blend in with your normal traffic.
And to round out our playbook, here are 3 more big ones. Number 3 is bot management, which is all about telling the good bots, like from Google, apart from the bad bots trying to attack you. Number 4 is using a distributed gateway. This just means spreading your traffic out so that an attack in one place doesn't bring your whole system down. And finally, number 5, traffic monitoring. This is your early warning system. You've got to be watching for weird patterns so you can catch an attack before it becomes a total disaster.
So, you've got the playbook, you've invested in the tools, you should be safe, right? Well, not so fast. You could still be super vulnerable. That's what we're talking about in Section 4, Common Gaps in Your Armor. Let's look at why even the best defenses sometimes fall flat.
Yeah, this really says it all, doesn't it? DDoS defense is only as strong as its configuration. Just buying the fancy security tool isn't the finish line. Not even close. The real difference between having a fortress and just a cardboard wall is all in the details of how you set it up and keep it tuned.
And these are some of the biggest mistakes we see all the time. People leave the default settings on their tools, which are almost always way too relaxed. Or they set their alert thresholds wrong, so the defense either kicks in way too late, or even worse, it starts blocking actual customers. And my personal favorite, requiring a human to manually approve the defense. In an attack, every single second counts. That delay can be absolutely devastating. And here's a perfect example of a newer attack that just waltzes right through those kinds of gaps. A quick flood. See, this attack doesn't go after your bandwidth. It goes after your server's brain, its CPU. It bombards the server with these connection requests that are really hard for it to process, and it just burns out the CPU. If your security system is only looking for a huge spike in traffic, it might miss this kind of attack completely.
Which leads us perfectly into our final section. Security is a process. You really have to get this idea out of your head that security is a set it and forget it kind of thing. It's not. It is a never-ending cycle of getting prepared, testing your defenses, and always looking for ways to get better.
You know, the great philosopher Mike Tyson once said, "Everybody has a plan until they get punched in the face." And okay, he probably wasn't talking about API security, but man, does that quote fit. You can have the most beautiful, detailed response plan sitting in a document somewhere, but it's pure fantasy until it's been tested under the fire of a real emergency.
So, how do you get ready for that punch? It really boils down to these 3 pillars. 1. You have to verify. Constantly test your defenses to make sure they actually work. 2. Ensure your SLAs. Hold your vendors' feet to the fire and make sure they're delivering on what they promised. And 3, and this is the big one, test your playbook. Run drills, simulate attacks. Make sure your team has the muscle memory to know exactly what to do when those alarms start blaring. That's how you turn a plan on paper into a real battle-tested strategy.
And so, that's the question I want to leave you with. After everything we've talked about, the threats, the insane costs, the easy mistakes to make, you have to ask yourself, is your API security a real fortress built on a solid foundation of testing and constant vigilance? Or is it just a facade, really just waiting for that first real punch to completely fall apart? Thinking about that answer might just be the most important thing you do today.